Hi, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we'll be looking at falls as a major health concern for older adults. Now, falls are a serious public health issue, particularly among the elderly population, okay, because they're a vulnerable group. They face an increased risk of falling due to their age-related changes. As they get older, their body gets more frail. Chronic health conditions and other factors often leading to devastating health consequences. And we'll find out about the health consequences as we go on. Now, what's the prevalence? Now, falls are significant and widespread health concerns among this particular age group. Studies have shown that approximately 1 in 3 adults, okay, to show you how common it is, age 65 and older experience fall each year. That means out of about 3 people, one in among 3 people must surely experience falling on their faces in a year. Okay, so this alarming statistics highlights the pervasiveness of this issue among the elderly population to show you that it's a real problem. And of course, if you don't know, falls are one of the second leading causes of unintentional injuries globally. So furthermore, the risk of falling increases with age. The older you are, the more likely you are going to experience these falls. Now, with over 50% of the adults aged 80 and over reporting at least one fall annually. This high incidence rate underscores the pressing need to address the underlying factors that leads to such incidents. Now, what are the risk factors for falls in the elderly population? Number one is due to their age, okay? As they age, there's decline in muscle strength, we get, they don't walk that fast. Balance, they are not really steady on their feet. They don't see properly, vision problems, which increase the risk of fall among this age group. Secondly, chronic health conditions such as arthritis, when their joints don't function well. Parkinson's disease, they always shake, and neuropathy can impair mobility and stability, making falls more likely compared to the younger adults who don't feel this, who don't have this problem. Now, thirdly, medication side effects. Certain medications, such as sedatives, cause drowsiness, and so it can lead to falls. Antidepressants and other type of drugs can lead to such incidents. Lastly, we have environmental hazards like slippery floors, poor lighting, tripping hazards, especially in the houses where this falls occur among this population. Most of them are in their houses or walking about, but mostly in their houses, and they trip over things. And of course, because they are not steady, they are likely to fall compared to the younger adults. Consequences of falls, we have it in physical, psychological, economic, and long-term consequences. Now, let us look at the physical consequences. Of course, falls in older adults would likely lead to serious injuries such as fractures, maybe on their hand, their legs, their hips, head trauma, them bumping their head on something, and soft tissue damage. This can lead to long-term disabilities. For example, someone that breaks their hand or something, it can lead to them not being able to move their hand properly. So reduce mobility and decrease quality of life. For the psychological impacts, the fear of falling can cause older adults to limit their activities. They won't want to walk about normally because they're afraid of just falling down on their bum or on their back or damaging something, and it can lead to social isolation, not wanting to interact with other people, coming out. It can lead to depression and loss of independence. The trauma from a fall can also trigger anxiety and reduce their sense of confidence because they feel they are not able to take care of themselves like they did when they were younger. And so falling, of course, when someone falls, is quite embarrassing, especially as an adult. So it leads to such psychological impacts. Now, for the economic burden, the direct and indirect cost of falls, including the medical expenses, rehabilitation, and long-term care, of course, plays a significant financial strain on the family, especially the family, on the individual, the family, and the healthcare systems. And this economic impact can be particularly challenging, especially for older adults that have limited resources, due to especially in countries, in developing countries or low and middle income countries where they have such economic problems. Now we have long-term consequences. Falls can have far-reaching consequences such as increased risk of institutionalization, loss of employment, and decreased ability to perform daily activities. Of course, if they are injured due to these falls, they won't be able to function properly and therefore can lose their jobs if they are employed. And these consequences can dramatically impact an older adult's overall well-being. Like we said before, it can lead to them being depressed and having anxiety due to the falls. Now, what are the prevention strategies? Now, remember, as public health practitioners, we are to try to prevent these falls and create awareness about prevention of these falls. Now, environmental modification is the key, okay? So the things that make them fall down, just eliminate it. So for the homes, you have to do home modification, adapt the home environment significantly to reduce falls. For example, in my house, my own father had to adjust the staircase, okay? Some staircase, they are not well built for the older population, and sometimes older adults are advised to move downstairs in a duplex or in a story building. They are advised to live downstairs so that they don't have to make use of the stairs if the story building is a multiple, like a lot of stories, then they need to use lifts. Okay, so adapting the home environment significantly will reduce these fall risks in this older population, such as installing grab bars or along the way as they are walking, so in case they want to fall, they can hold on to it. Okay, and improving lighting, making sure that they see, don't use low powered bulbs, make sure that you use proper lighting, and remove tripping hazards. Okay, if they are living in your home and you have little children about, make sure that they don't move about in the children's room where there are toys that can easily trip them. Then we have facility upgrades, senior living communities and healthcare facilities that provide long-term care can enhance safety by upgrading features like flooring, lighting, and handrails as well. Does the same thing to be applied in their building, and they should have kind of like wheelchair accessibility and not stairs, and the stairs should not be so high that they cannot be able to climb it without difficulty. And of course, all stairs should have handrails that they are able to hold on to. Now we have outdoor spaces, ensuring safe and accessible outdoor areas with even surfaces and clear markings so that they can see where they are not to step. Even curbs, pedestrian walkways should not be so high that they cannot climb or come down from. Can encourage physical activity and independence among older adults. They don't need to hold someone to work if these things are in place. Now, let us look at the 4 prevention strategies. Still on it. Now, this is towards the individual. We have talked about environmental modification. Now we are talking about towards what the elderly can do to improve, to prevent them from experiencing falls. Now, regular exercise is very, very, very important, and balanced focus activities as well are highly effective in reducing fall risks. It helps them to maintain their balance so they don't easily trip and fall. Now, supervised training programs can improve muscle strength so that they know the exercise to do for their age and not to be excessively strenuous, if you get what I mean. Then to improve flexibility as well and coordination so that they'll be able to coordinate how they work, enhance overall stability, and reduce the likelihood of falls. Now, group exercise classes are needed. Tai Chi for balancing and individualized physiotherapy interventions are very, very good examples of evidence-based approaches. Evidence-based means that they have been shown to prevent falls, to improve coordination, and improving muscle strength as well. So that can significantly improve their balance, gait, and fall prevention among this elderly population. So for prevention strategies, the next one is the medication management. Okay, is a very important strategy in preventing falls among the elderly. Certain medications, like we said before, sedative, antidepressants, and of course I said other drugs like blood pressure drugs, can increase the risk of fall because they cause dizziness, confusion, impaired balancing. So how do we manage this medication? Because of course it's needed and cannot be real. So regular medication reviews by healthcare providers can help to identify and adjust problematic prescriptions. Okay, research is still going on how to modify these drugs and make them better so that it will reduce dizziness and all that discomfort that will lead to falls. Older adults should also be educated on the potential fall risks associated with their medication. For example, if they take their medication, they should get ready to lay down and wait for the medication to take effect and the dizziness to pass and all that. So they also should have assistance when they are taking this medication so that they don't trip and fall. Now, the importance of fall risk assessment. We have comprehensive evaluation, personalized intervention, and ongoing monitoring. For the comprehensive evaluation, a thorough fall risk assessment examines an individual's medical history, physical condition, and environmental factors that contribute to fall so that you can remove such risks from the environment. We have personalized intervention. The assessment identifies an older adult's unique fall risk factors that is around their environment and can remove it and tailor prevention strategies towards that. Like I said, in a child that has a toddler or small kids that play with toys, you will just have to find out these things like toys and other things that can trip and fall, and make sure that our house is always arranged so that the elderly living with the person doesn't fall. So ongoing monitoring as well, regular assessment checks to track progress, especially in the environment where the person is living, to make sure that even in the immediate environment, like I said, potential crops, when they are doing roads and all that, they have to check all these things so that it doesn't lead to falls among this population, and allow adjustments to be made for fall prevention plan for the individual needs. So multidisciplinary approach to fall prevention, okay, is not just one thing and one person or one group of people. It involves team, a set of groups of people. So comprehensive evaluation is needed to assess the individual fall risks through a multidisciplinary team, including doctors, physical therapists, of course, public health professionals as well. Then tailored intervention, you develop personalized fall prevention strategies, based on evaluation, addressing factors like medication. That's where the pharmacists even come in, of course, to address this medication, to modify it and all that. Occupational therapists, home environment, physical abilities, these things should be looked at. And one group of people or in a particular set of occupation cannot do it. So it needs, collaborative efforts. And we have collaborative care, implement a coordinated approach where the healthcare team come together, work closely both with the individual and the family to ensure that adherence and ongoing support is there. So promoting aging and reducing fall-related injuries. In conclusion, addressing this issue of falls is very important. It's crucial for supporting healthy aging, okay? Because now we said that the aged are increasing now and is estimated to double by the year 2050. Okay, so strategies to implement this to prevent these fall related injuries should be put in place, and includes a holistic multidisciplinary approach involving environmental modification, exercise, medication management, and regular risk assessments that will help to mitigate this risk of falls in our environment and prevent the aged from experiencing these falls. So that's all for today's class. I hope you have learned something, and I'll see you in my next class. To take care. God bless you and bye.